so much of the country is dealing also, we had terrorists dealing with sweltering heat, and it can be dangerous. Our medical correspondent, Dr. Darien Sutton, joins us now with how to stay safe. And Doc, there's so much you hear. I had friends this past weekend up at Cooperstown. One of them looked like he was out for the count. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke. How do you know the difference, and how can you prevent a medical emergency like that?
You know, heat is a very significant risk to our health, and it can't be understated. I think your signs and symptoms that you were talking about with your friend are so important to acknowledge. I've seen it in the emergency room working throughout the weekend. You know, it's been hot and humid throughout this entire city. Many of my patients suffering from many variables or associations to heat-related illness, and it's so important for everyone, for all of us. We're all vulnerable to understand the risks and the signs of heat exhaustion. We know what it feels like. It often starts out as a headache, heavy sweating, excessive thirst. These are signs that your body is trying to cool itself down, but when that system starts to break and your organs start to suffer, that's when you step into the territory of heat stroke. That's essentially organ failure, and patients with this will present with confusion. Sometimes, even in the severest states, seizures, as our brains are very sensitive to even small changes in temperature, and technically it's a fever of 105 that qualifies this, but my personal recommendation, any temperature over normal with symptoms is an emergency, and if this isn't treated, it can lead to loss of consciousness, coma, and even death. So important to recognize those symptoms.
Well, judging from what you just showed there, he was having heat exhaustion.
Yes.
So what do you do? What should you do if you realize you're experiencing heat exhaustion or heat stroke?
Well, number one, you want to get yourself out of the heat, especially helping those who might not be able to get out of the heat quickly. Get to shade. If you're in a moment where you need to cool down quickly from an emergency physician, that's when you want to wet yourself down. Get in front of a fan. That allows for that process of evaporative cooling. And if you have ice packs available, you want to place them like an ER doctor. That involves ice packs at the areas where we have the largest blood vessels, our neck, our armpits. Those are places where you're going to get cool fast. And again, if someone cannot do it, you need to help them out. And if your symptoms are progressing, you should call 911.
How does age of medication come into play?
Yeah, well, my highest risk patients are my children under the age of 5 years old, adults over the age of 65, my patients who are pregnant. And I think it's really important to state this, patients who are using medications that might put them at risk. Many people don't realize that that increases your risk. For example, certain blood pressure medications increase your risk of dehydration. Even certain antidepressants will interrupt your internal thermostat and make it difficult to handle the heat. So it's so important to know your risks. During this time of heat, make sure you stay shaded, stay cool, and help those who can't do it.
Yeah. All right. Great advice, Doc, especially at this time of sweltering heat that we're going through right now. Appreciate you.